Hey, check. Anything happening there?
I've already got fixed. I said flip-flops after doing that, and I put my shoes on now.
Yeah? Checking. Is there any sound coming from me?
Well, tell us, kids, but if you want to get
Listen,
some
yep.
before the next game.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me. We've had a bit of a hectic morning here at ISB in that it really rained last night and flooded the field, so we are about 3.5 hours behind schedule. We're just getting ready for the first game of the fifth round. Actually, this is going to be between the ISKL girls and the ISM Bearcats. Sorry, the ISKL Panthers and the ISM Bearcats. The field has been drained by a whole bunch of people. Back off. And we're getting ready for this first game of the fifth session. It's an important game for the Manila Bearcats in the sense that if they get a result here, either a draw or a win, that should lock them into the final. A loss still gives them a chance to get into the finals, but they'll need some help then. So their fate is entirely in their own hands. The KL Panthers, on the other hand, only have 1 point from their 5 games so far. Or 4 games so far, so they're really paying for pride. As it stands right now, after 4 games, it is the Manila Bearcats on top of the table with 8 points. They've scored 5 and conceded none. The Singapore Eagles, who play in the 3rd game of this morning session, have 7 points. They've scored 4 and conceded 1. ISB is then in 3rd place with 6 points, so it's 8-7-6 at the top, and then Taipei is actually on 5 points. So all 4 teams, give or take the results, have a chance to get into the final, and they're all playing different teams. The biggest match that probably will determine things is Singapore versus Taipei, which is the 3rd game of the session, and right now we have that game set to go at about 2:30. So Manila have their fate in their hands. Their starting lineup, Richardson's going with a 4-4-2. He's going to start with Peterson, Villalone, Alling, and Panlilo. In the middle, it is Presler, Maloney, Nicholas, and Ralph, I believe. Hill and Fernandez Poku are going to be up top in a 4-4-2. He's been playing 4-5-1 all tournament, but maybe he's pressing it to get a goal early and then settle the game. On the other side, the Panthers are sticking with their 4-5-1. It's Razak at the back with Emma Moorhead, Baker, and Jalil. Across the middle, from right to left, is Foudy, Richer, Newbolt, Moreno, and Hellerin. And up top has been a very effective Bruckner, who's had a great tournament. She hasn't found a lot of pay dirt, but she's dangerous every time she gets the ball. So we have our final cheers. The teams take the field. I'll do my best to get the names right for you, and I'm going to give it over to Guion, who wants to say a couple things about the playoff picture. Speaking my heart out to you into a dead microphone.
There.
Yeah?
I bet when you handed it to, what's his name, pulled it out, it's short cord, remember?
Yeah, okay. Good call. So Fernandez again turns. Presler with the long throw. She's dangerous with this. That is Baker on the end of it. Good cross in again. Ralph trying to get on the end of it. Number 7 is Hill. And she'll try to let this go from a long way. It might have been a handball on Newbolt's, but it falls to the right side. Back inside for Fernandez. She gives it back to, I believe that's Peterson. Came off a Panther player. That'll be a corner kick. Fernandez steps over. Sorry, that was Presler that tried to cross the ball in. So the field's tilted to our left. A lot of Manila pressure early. Fernandez with a delivery. It's a good one. Peterson out to be dangerous. Oh, off the bottom of the post. Ralph was watching rather than attacking. That was a very difficult corner to deal with. Comes out the other end. It looks like it'd be a corner again. Fernandez makes the long run over. Richardson's encouraging his team. I have to say that he's coached them to play some good football. They tend to play ball to feet all the time, which is not always the case in IASAS girls football. It tends to be a bit more kick and chase and destructive stuff, but Richardson has his girls playing a nice brand of football. That comes off ahead. Here's Peterson. Tries to cut it back in. Laws will get that away. That's Nicholas. A little bit of an awkward play there from Panlilo. She can't get the left foot around it. And Moreno comes away. Hellerin tries to get it forward, but again, Villalone is there comfortably. Ralph, maybe a bit of a firmer touch the wrong way. She might have had Nicholas on the inside, but she didn't get that right. Fujikawa. Alling again, a very solid stopper. Moreno tries to cut it in. Ralph has a bit of time to turn here now. The field actually has dried out very well. It was a lake about 3 hours ago, and we had all the ground services come in to get on it. Fernandez trying to get there. She has Laws again. Looks like it's going to be a battle cut out by Baker, and that'll go for another corner kick. Right, Fernandez again. It was a dangerous one she gave him last time. This one she doesn't quite get right, and it goes out for a goal kick. Who is the right winger? All right, ball back into play. Cut out by Nicholas. Forward up here to Bruckner. She's nudged by Alving, but the ref says play on. That's the muckiest part of the pitch right there. Bruckner does a good job of shielding and eventually gets the foul as Hill maybe overdid her challenge. Newbolt sends it up Route 1. Beautifully taken from Hellerin. Turn from Moreno. And a shot from Bruckner. Looks like Richardson's about to make a sub, bringing in Zulberti, Saya. That'll have to wait for a throw-in, though. A Manila throw-in. This is a Bearcat throw-in, or sorry, a Panther throw-in. Hey, dude. Hey, camera guy. All right. Touch there from Laws forward, looking for Moreno. Nicholas just clears it blindly. She probably had time to turn. Nicholas a bit more settled this time, finds Hill in the hole, but she's closed down quickly by Newbolts, I believe, and a good ball outside. Ralph has time to turn and run. Hill looking for an overlap, but Ralph gives it inside rather than down the line. Panalilo settles, finds Nicholas. Nice. This is the football we're talking about. Look at that for good stuff. Hill settles again. Short little 6-yard passes and triangles is how the Bearcats have been playing. In many ways, they've been the class of the tournament in that regard. Again, Hill. She looks right for an overlap. Alling. Bit of a softer challenge for him, and Newbolt comes away. Finds Hellerin. Moreno. Bruckner holds up and turns into trouble. And then leans into Villalone, but the ref says play on. Ralph can turn again. Looks for Presler. Cut out from Moorhead. And Nicholas can't turn away from the Panther players and gives a throw in. Razak being asked to hold up so her team can get back into shape. It's going to be a hotter day here in Bangkok today. The sun is out, laid off by Hill, and the through ball asking Ralph to do a lot. Razak has to get back there as well. Ball stays in. Eventually goes out. Looks like it's going to be a Bearcat throw, and Presler asks for the ball. All right, subs coming in for the Panthers. Richer, and I believe that's Muse. Throw in from Presler. Goes away for what I believe is a 4th Bearcat corner kick. Fernandez again. Muse goes up top for Bruckner for the Panthers. Short to Panlilo. Ball given back. They're still onside. It's a good cross too. Away from Newbolt. Suberti tries to get a foot in there, pressuring Moreno, and that comes off Suberti's boot for a throw. Razak will go over and take it.
Which one is it?
Away from Moorhead. Her and Baker have been the kind of twin towers in the back 4 of the Panther defense. Again, Presler with the long throw. She has Zoberti down the line and Fernandez Poku on the inside. She goes to Fernandez. It's a bit longer though. Hill tries the late run. Fernandez again. Good tackle from Moorhead. Here's Peterson. Inside. Fernandez holds. And she can get across in here. She does. That's dangerous. Oh, just over the bar. Still trying to get the right winger for Manila. I believe it's Hermans. I'm going to say it's Hermans, even if it isn't, so I apologize to the viewers if I'm wrong.
Who is it? IS what?
Good turn from Richer there. But Manila keep the pressure on. Can Zoberti keep this in? Nope, she can't.
No. You can't get yours even going, so...
Am I not doing anything right now as we're talking?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Throwing down the line. That's Richer with the touch. Muse gets on the back end of it, but Alling is there again. And Fernandez settles again. She's seeing a lot of the ball early. She'll bring in Hermans. An interesting idea with the give and go, but it didn't come off. Peterson. Fernandez again. Back to Hill, who's having herself a good start to the game here as well. Nicholas. Kind of kicks and hopes, really. That'll come wide out here to Hamza, who does a nice ball into Hellerin. Nope, that's Muse, sorry. Panlilo wins the battle. Nicholas is there first, ahead of Moreno, and she finds Fernandez in space. Fernandez can hit this, and she does. And that's off the post. So Berti in the follow-up. Might have caught the handball there from Moreno, but it was from close range. So Berti can't get the shot away, and the danger is cleared. Muse, back to Richer. Again, Fernandez, good tackle from Jalil. Save Fernandez getting away, but the Bearcats are knocking on the door. Back for Peterson. Inside for Nicholas, who gives it away. Peterson again down the line. She'll have to chase now. That goes out for a throw-in.
See, look at that. It's unencumbered. That's what I don't like. So your way puts it underneath. I get what you're doing, but it doesn't look as good.
All right, settled by Moorhead.
Did you?
Tries to slip a ball in through there, but Presler takes it, even though she's going the wrong way. Might have left that for Alling. This will be Jaleel. Alling takes no chances there and gets it wide for Peterson, who gains her team a throw-in. Coming up on halfway here in the first half. Not sure if they're taking water breaks. It is going to be a hot and heavy day for everyone.
Yeah.
Long ball from Fernandez. For Fernandez. Again, she has the running of, it's Moorhead on her this time. Moorhead doesn't let her turn. And that will be indeed the first water break. It's a hot and heavy day, and the pitch will sap your energy because it's wet out there. Yeah, it's a steamy day. That's
Steamy day.
Mr. Bell saying the best word that he's ever said. He's exactly right. It's a steamy day. So we'll give him a 3-minute break, and we'll come back with some commentary. Right now it's 0-0, but Manila have the upper hand. Back out after the 3-minute break. Still no score. Again, they give water breaks at IASAS, which is I think you'd agree is a pretty important thing in Southeast Asia.
I agree.
They play 6 games over 3 days, and
It's hotter than you know what out here. Saw the devil walk by actually. He was wearing shorts.
nice. That's even better than steamy, buddy.
Give you a little color commentary.
And he works for free. That's the great thing.
Yeah.
Chris Bell in the booth. So, oh, we're getting a happy birthday song here for someone.
Got some rowdy fans over there. We're pulling them. There go the cops. They're gonna pull them right now.
So they will be giving the 3-minute water breaks for each game at the first stoppage of play after the 15-minute mark of each half.
Breaking out in the stands.
So Jaleel has the ball. She's the one that will put it back into play when Manila get into shape. Here we go. Ball into Foudy. Back to Baker, who boots it away. One of my favorite terms in soccer when I coached was, when in doubt, boot it out. That's what just happened there.
Is that a out? Is that a Canadian term? I'm unfamiliar with that.
It's a Canadian poem. Robert Service, I believe. When in doubt, boot it out.
Boot it out.
Newbolt tries a little overlapping run. It gets stuck in the muck a little bit. Panlilo has had a couple of dubious touches, but Alling is there to cover up the mess. Nice turn from Richer. She finds Hellerin. Muse might have been making a run, but she probably would have had to be offside to get on the end of that. This is Stevens. Cleared out from Newbolt again. Razake. And a little bit of a one-touch pass from Hellerin doesn't come off. Panlilio finds Hill, who's had herself a good game so far. A nice deft little touch inside for Zilberti. Important tackle from Moorhead. Alling again. She was fouled there, yeah. Ref sees that and gives a free kick out for the Bearcats. Villalone hasn't had much to do yet, but you know when she is asked to do something, she's usually very good at it. She gives a short ball to Panlilio. Inside to Nicholas, who tries to free Zilberti, who had to hesitate because she thought Razake would get on, intercept that. She didn't, and the ball ends up going for a throw. All right, so that maybe did get a little touch off Razak, and now we have a long throw in for the Bearcats. Ooh, there it is from Presler. Awkward from Jalil. This is a bit of danger. It comes off Herman's head. Jalil's in with a touch. So is, I believe that was Foudy back. And at the end of all that, we end up with a Bearcat corner kick. Coach Thompson from the Panthers looking to make a sub here in a bit. He's going to bring Bruckner back in. Fernandez hits some dangerous corners. Doesn't quite get that one, but it might fall for someone here.
Whoa!
Bit of a swipe, I believe, from Peterson, and she didn't quite get that right. Just a little outside.
Just a little outside.
Here comes Laws coming back in. I think she's going to take Moorhead, and Bruckner will come in for Hellerin. So the center of defense for the Panthers will now be Laws and I think Baker. Laws will go straight back and take the goal kick. Put her straight to work. It's a bit of a short one here. Zilberti might get a touch on this. Richer. Hamza. Nice turn from her. The ball did stay in play, and we have a bit of a break here. Muse trying to work with Bruckner, but Villalone again quickly and sure-footedly gets the ball away. It's hard to break Villalone down because she is, again, a good footballer, but she also anticipates and reads the game very well. So it might take something special from the Panthers to get a goal tonight or this afternoon. Down the line from Hamza. Good football from the Panthers there as Richer gets it back to her. And Muse has a bit of space. She's surrounded now, but she still has the ball. Well done. And Nicholas says enough of that. Let's get things organized again. Throw into Hamza. Again, Nicholas clears.
If I'm going down, I'm going down. Jump back in there, Trish. I'm sorry, I was in the control box. Yes.
That looks like it goes for the first corner kick of the game for the Panthers. Oh, the clock's not going. Damn it. All right, we've lost our clock. I think we're at about 20 minutes now. Hey, Bell. Can you check the clock there and reset the time? Because or do you want to, the clock hasn't been working.
Did you start it back up again?
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah. So the clock is up there and we can see what time it is if you can.
You can't change it.
Okay.
Take it down.
So I think we're about 5 minutes. No, keep it up. I'll just tell them that we're 5 minutes behind on the clock. So I think we're at about the 20 or 21 minute mark. Here's Fernandez.
20:55.
Okay, so the time right now is 20:55, 21 minute mark. Just so as you know. Good hit from Nicholas. Oh, it's bobbled from Peterson. And just goes over for a corner kick. Sorry, Bell?
5 minutes off.
Alling comes forward all the way from her stopper position to take this corner kick. Fernandez is maybe a bit tired of taking 5 or 6 of them, so we'll try something new here.
Go ahead.
Richardson saying put it right in the 6-yard box. Manila have been worth a goal, but they haven't got one yet. Preisler tries to get on the end of that. That's a good hit. And it falls in for Nicholas. There wasn't a lot of power, but it was well placed just inside the right post. And Manila have their goal. Corner kick from Alling. It was into a good place, and it was only half cleared by the Panthers. It came to Nicholas at the edge of the box. She didn't get all of it, but she put it in a good place. You're going to change Manila to 1.
Did you take that one from here? Okay.
And we're 1-0. Newbold hits it forward. Have about 7 minutes left in the first half. Nicholas with renewed joy, but she maybe is a bit too excited. She overhits that one. Nicholas again with a solid challenge. That's your goal scorer. She's the difference maker so far. Razake puts it down the line. In for Muse. Into Bruckner. Laws settles and goes left for Jalil and Foudy. I believe that's Herman's pressing for the Bearcats and Peterson. Richer. Hill. Preisler. Foudy shields well. Hill. Finds Fernandez again in a little bit of space. She's the danger girl up top. A good tackle from Hannah Baker. Sorry, Bailey Baker. Wholesale changes coming in here from the Panthers. Looks like we're bringing in the Morenos. Hellerin. Fujikawa. And Emma Moorhead will come back into center defense. Back to Nicholas, the goal scorer. That's Panalilio, sorry. Has to be said that the Panther girls are in great spirit in front of us. They've had a tough tournament, but they're, as is often the case with ISKL teams, they're very positive and very supportive of their teammates. All smiles and cheers, which is great to see. Stevens gets on the back end of that. She plays short to Villalone, who... Oh, a bit of a space for Muse. Oh, and Peterson maybe didn't need to come out there. Muse could not get the touch around her, so it ends up in Stevens' hands.
Yes, exactly.
Preisler with the flick on. That's a bit of a dangerous moment. Yeah, Fernandez wins that. She's a good striker, and what a great save from Peterson. That is putting your body on the line. Great hands. So the Panthers are living. They're living dangerously, but they're living. Fernandez again. Gets it back onto her left foot. Tries to find Preisler, but it's cut out by Baker. Hill again. She gets to the byline and cuts it across. Preisler does get the touch on the final one. And that'll be 2-0 for the Bearcats. Great work from Hill down the line. Again, it has been a consistent amount of pressure from the Bearcats. It was Hill down the line that cut that across the 6-yard box, and Presler just outdid Razake in front of the goal. 2-0. You'd have to say deservedly so for the Bearcats. But the Panthers keep their spirit up. They're a great team to comment on because they just seem to love the experience so much. Should be about 4 minutes to go. Razake down the line. Moorhead turns. Villalone there with her left foot. She's equally adept with both. Moreno with a cross. Panlilio will let that run. Looks like we have a sub here for the for both sides. Vivian Femister is going to come in, and Richer will come back in. Maybe a bit of an injury from Jalil, so Richer goes in at left back. Femister comes in for Hermans, so she'll be playing on the right side. Again, a win or a draw is good for Manila, so Richardson might try to rotate his team now to be fresh for the final this evening. We have a slightly new schedule, as I'm sure you've heard. So the girls' final tonight is going to go at 7 o'clock. They're going to play the girls' final and the girls' third place game simultaneously at 7. ISB time, sorry, Bangkok time. The boys' finals, third place and final, will be at 5:30 p.m. We had a lot of rain in the morning and or overnight, and the field was drowned this morning. So our ground staff has done all they can to get it in playing position or playing shape, but that's put us back about 3 hours. So the administration here, the IASAS admin at ISB, have done their best to get the games in. This is the first game of the first round. The next two games, GIS and ISB, should go at about 1 o'clock, and Singapore and TAS should go at about 2:30. All right, we're closing in on halftime here. All waiting to put the ball back into play for the Bearcats. Oh, well taken from Hill, and she slips it through for Zulberti. Back into Hill, and there's a give and go on here, but yes, that's it. Zulberti doesn't quite do the inside run, so Fernandez latches onto it. Nicholas with the left foot. Owling again first to it. Into Hill again, who's had herself a great game in the middle of the park today. She was the creator of that second goal, and she gets manhandled a little bit for a free kick in. This is probably where either Presler or Fernandez Poku might take. It looks like Richardson is calling up Villalone to take this one. She spends a lot of time cleaning things up at the back, so this might be her chance at glory. She loves to count out her own 10 yards too. I saw her do that yesterday. Good IASA spirit. She makes sure everyone's following the rules correctly. We need more people like that in the Thai government. Probably shouldn't say that. All right, halftime is approaching. Alex Villalone over the ball. Hits it well. It's bobbled, and it's in. But I think the ref calls offside. That'll be a tricky one to have a look at, because when the ball was hit, I don't know how Presler could be in offside position, but she might have been if she broke early. So the Panthers come away with that. It's still only 2-0. Like to see the replay on that one. It was a good strike from Villalone. Away from Laws. Overlapping run from Fujikawa. And Villalone is back to where she is naturally best. Presler. Full of running. And a good cross, but it is put away for a corner kick, I believe. Or it might have come off Presler. She didn't get her foot around it enough to cut it back, so that's a goal kick for the Panthers as we hit a bit of injury time in the first half. Pick up. Ginetti. 1 minute of extra time. So we're probably at the death now. The ref just checked his watch. Zilberti's first touch is a bit loose. Yeah, we got 1 minute left. Villalone. Our first touch let her down, and Bruckner has some danger in her. But Villalone recovers well. Okay, this will be Hellerin to launch one in for the the Panthers. At the front post, cleared out from Hill, and again from Hill. Turn around from Newbolt, who scrapes it across the front of goal, but no one can get it on the end of it, and we end the first half with the Manila Bearcats 2, the KL Panthers 0. We'll turn it over to Gian now, who's going to join me here in the booth because he wants to keep on doing a little bit of an update about how we are in the the finals standings.
Right, so as we said earlier before the game, ISM they have defeated their own hands, and they're definitely doing a good job of that. They haven't been affected by the conditions in any way. They continue to play with the same intensity, and if not even more. I think they're getting progressively more comfortable as the tournament goes on even. They had a bit of a trouble earlier yesterday after a perfect first day, but it looks like they're in fine form and fine spirits coming to the last one, which is the most important. And I'm just going to get my live table and come right back.
Okay, so as it stands right now, if this score line stands, Manila would go up into 11 points. ISKL would stay at 1, and that would obviously get Manila into the final as the number 1 seed. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Fields, where the boys are playing their second game in the morning. The current score is?
ISKL are beating SAS 1-0.
So that's 1-0. So if that result holds, ISKL will go up to 9 points, which would put them in the final. The Bangkok Panthers are already in the final, so that is a game that will determine the other member of the final. Right now, it's ISKL who are leading 1-0. So Singapore have everything to do over on the boys' channel. If you want to watch that on the second channel here, you can watch that. And you can see the Panther girls just really loving each other. It's a pretty cool spirit they bring to it. They're always a great school and a great group of athletes. It hasn't gone their way this tournament at all, but they're not letting that stop them. They're down 2-0 here, but leading in our hearts. All right, so it'll be Bruckner to get us underway here. We're got the clock ready to go. Ref is checking some subs there. Richardson patting his head for some reason. And Bruckner gets us underway for the second half. Forward by turned by Hill, who's had a great game again. Femister, one touch inside. That's Maloney, who tries to find Fernandez, and she wins the free kick going forward again. Don't see too many subs there for Richardson. We've brought in Gonzalez at right back, but he's kept Hill, Femister, Presler. I imagine he might give them 15 minutes and then rest them a little bit. He wants to be sure this game stays safe. Presler tries to drop a cross in for an on-rushing Hill, but it's a bit strong. Baker to put the ball back in play, or was that Moorhead? Up to Hellerin. Nice little 1-2 with Moreno. Moreno tries to find Fujikawa, gets caught up in the muck. Here's Gonzalez's first touch. She finds Femister. Moreno working hard. Hill again, turns inside. Nice turn. She gets away from two Panthers into Maloney, who now finds Fernandez. This is dangerous. Fernandez in alone. It's a great save again from Peterson in the Panther goal. Fernandez opened up the body as though she was going to shoot, and she did. She might have pulled it back to her left, as I think Peterson was committed, but take nothing away from the goalkeeper. That's a couple of fabulous saves she's made this game to keep her team down only 2. Alling will come forward for this corner kick. It was her corner kick that led to the first goal for the Bearcats. She doesn't quite hit this one as well, but she comes back to her and she gets a second chance. Oh, Hill on the end of that again, can only rake it wide. Brought in again by Stevens. She finds Newbolt, who turns it into Moreno. Nice turn from Moreno again. She tries to release Fujikawa up the wing. Newbolt can do the same. Into Bruckner. She has an overlapping run from the other Moreno, but Stevens is out to pick that up as it goes for a goal kick. So it remains 2-0 here for the Manila Bearcats. If this result holds, they'll have booked their place into the finals later this evening. That's to be played at 7 o'clock Bangkok time. Their opponent is still to be determined, with I believe 3 teams having a chance. The Singapore Eagles, well, here's a bit of trouble from Villalone, but she turns away from it and can only get as far as Moreno. Not the cleanest stuff from the Bearcats, but they survive. Anyway, the 3 teams that other teams vying to get into the finals with Manila, if this result holds, would be the ISB Panthers, the Singapore Eagles, who probably have the inside track, and the TAS Tigers. Those games are coming up after this one. Well done from Hill again. Takes on Hellerin and finds Femister. But Jalil is back in and makes a good tackle. Yeah, the ref sees something wrong with that and gives a free kick. Fujikawa might have got a boot in the ankle there. This is Newbolt again, who will try to get in for Hellerin or Bruckner. Cut out by Alling. All right, the ball is back to Stevens, who wants to throw it. She can't quite get it over Fujikawa, but gets it around her. Femister plays the simple ball again that is a trademark of the Manila team. Well taken from Hill again. She hasn't put very many touches wrong at all. She kills the ball beautifully. Might have looked left, but she does find Presler up the inside right channel. And Presler can't cut it quite back enough safely into the hands of Peterson. Number 11 is Fernandez Poku, who seems to have dropped to a more midfield role. I'm used to seeing her up top. She cuts it across, but Baker is there to belt that away, and she finds Bruckner. And Bruckner is fouled. I think that's Panlilo over there. Panlilo is still playing left back. Try to get the number for you. The Manila midfields shape themselves, get back into position as Newbolt tries from the other side. It's a good ball in. Won by Alling again, twice in a row. Presler want to settle this. No, she hits it long for Maloney. Hill had a lot of room left again. There might not have been a call out there. I think that was Zilberti on the left wing. But anyway, it's Maloney crossing in for Presler, who one times it's hard to get that wrapped all the way around onto goal, and she puts it wide by the near post. A couple of subs here. We have Riche re-entering the game for the Panthers, and Sabine Go is coming in to play left wing in place of Zilberti. So Richardson starts to rotate his troops. It's Newbolt that gets the rest. She's been a workhorse in the middle of the park for the Panthers all tournament long. As is this girl, Presler. Finds Femister. Cleared away by Jalil, who looks like she's carrying a bit of a knock. Sounds like there was a goal over there in the guys' game. We'll try to get that sorted for you. I'm being told that Singapore scored in the other pitch, which will make that 1-1, and then give the Singapore Eagles the inside track to the final against the the Bangkok boys this afternoon. The boys' final is at 5:30. The girls is at 7. That's unconfirmed that Singapore scored in the other pitch, but you can check on our other channel if you want to see that game. Another corner kick from Alling. He's getting a bit of a workout coming forward for all these corners again. Yeah, go up there and talk loudly to her. Alling. That's at the near post, and it's dangerous. Skitters across here for Villalone, who whacks it back in with her left foot. That was Sabine Go with her first touch. And it goes for a goal kick for the Panthers. Baker. Riche. Picked up by Presler quickly. Nice touch in from Maloney for Hill. Well defended here from Hellerin. Good hard work from both girls. And Hellerin comes away. Oh, sorry, that was Emma Moorhead. Very good defending from her. There's Gonzalez inside, finds Fernandez, who tries to find Maloney, but Fernandez is powering through herself until she came across Baker. Riche tries to play it wide for Fujikawa, but it's a little bit behind her. Gonzalez with the throw. Nicely taken again from Hill. It's a beautiful touch on the ball. But she doesn't get around Riche. She gets her body back there and plays it wide for Panlilio. Under pressure from Hellerin, and that forces a throw for the Panthers. Into the attacking third here. Moreno, who Venables says is a great literature student, and that's important to me here in Bangkok as well, so well done, Moreno girls. Throw in here for Laws, I believe. Couple subs again as Richardson's looking to bring in Nicholas, and Coach Thompson will bring in 4 subs. It's going to be Muse, Razake, Hamza, and Foudy. So Coach Thompson getting everybody a run here in the final match for the Panthers. Out comes Fernandez, who's been an attacking force this entire tournament long, so she gets a well-deserved break and gets a high five from Mark Cooling and a handshake from Eric Richardson. Razake has to run all the way over the field to do the throw. Nice turn there from Muse, who tries to play it back to Foudy, but it doesn't come off. Razake wins for Moreno. Good ball out wide here for Hamza, who turns into space and pushes it on for Bruckner. Good tackle from Presler. Hamza under pressure here. Presler reads the little pull back between the legs, and it's a Panther throw. Jalil steps forward. Jalil looked to be carrying a bit of an injury earlier in the game, but even at 90%, she's still willing to go. That gets out for a corner kick as the Panthers keep the ball in the right end of the field as far as they're concerned for a little bit of time here. Let's see if Bruckner can deliver something special for them. It's Riche, Moreno, Hamza, Foudy, and it's a good corner. Oh, just almost Laws. Laws almost got or it might have been Riche, sorry, almost got a head on that. They keep the pressure on with a throw in here. Razake flicked on from Riche that time. And Hill pulls away quickly and smartly. Oh, it's a great run by her. Moreno has to fall by the wayside, and she springs Go wide on the left. Go has to cut it back to her right foot. Fernandez is there to help out. Presler settles. And puts it deep into the corner, where the Panthers will have a throw. Looks like Taylor Newbolt will come back into the game for the Panthers. She'll take out one of the Morenos, probably because she has some Wuthering Heights to read for Mr. Venables. In goes Taylor Newbolt. Out comes Alejandra Moreno. Ball back to Panlilio. Awkward one for Hill to kill, but it does settle in for Maloney. Comes to Riche. Flicked on from Muse, and there's Villalone in the right place again at the right time. Razaki can't quite kill that one down, and here's Go again. She uses her left foot that time to try to find Maloney, but it's cut off from Moorhead. Presler lets the ball roll and takes a quick throw in down the line, and that will find Maloney. Might have been fouled there from Baker, and the end of the ref. Oh, the ref says actually it's going the other way. Maybe Maloney left her boot in a little bit long. Newbolt will take this. Nicely laid off there from Hellerin, or sorry, Muse. But the final ball is lacking from Richer. Into the muck there for Bruckner, who does her best. Femister into Hill again. She tries to push on Femister, but that'll be a little bit too heavy of the pass. Long throw from Jalil. Well taken from Richer. She tries to release Bruckner, but Alling is there. The central defensive core for the Bearcats of Kenzo Malling and Alex Villalone have been maybe the class of the tournament. They haven't given up a goal yet. They've scored 7 as a team. So whatever Coach Richardson is teaching them back in the fields there in Fort Bonifacio is working well, at least for this edition. It looks like we're going to get a water break now, so we can stop the clock, and we'll give you a 3-minute break, and we'll come back and get the second half of the second half. From ISB Field A. The track around the field was recently dedicated to Ugo Costesi, who was a chief financial officer here at the school and also really supported the track team. So we still don't have a name for our field. If you have any suggestions, you can call it, but for now it's Field A. Presler with the throw. Richer wins that. Away from Alling, as is so often the case. Maloney managed to keep that in. Emma Moorhead keeps it forward again, but it's right back to Razake. Razake plays it wide. This might release Sabine Go up the left. She does take Razake on and gets by her. But Razake just does enough to nip it off her toes. Newbolt plays it into Richer. Nicholas, who's had a good game in the middle of the park, tries to find Femister out wide right. Hamza turns. A little bit of a bouncing ball that Richer found difficult to control. But Hellerin is there to win. Some scrappy football here from the girls the past 5 minutes, or 2 or 3 minutes, I suppose. That's a good ball from Villalone. Go has trouble getting it over her feet, and it ends up with Newbolt. Good run from Newbolt. She takes it wide. I think that's Herman's over there on the left. That, or maybe it's Villalone who won that. Newbolt again. This one comes away to Hill, who's been a dangerous creative player for the Bearcats. She tries to find Maloney. Not a foul there, just I think a clash of different sizes. Richer goes in awkwardly and Femister can't get her foot around it. It's a through ball that Stevens is out for comfortably. She brings it to Villalone. Decent bit of pressure here from the Panthers for the past little while as Richardson from the Bearcat coach is resting some of his players. There goes Go and Moorhead. Go's happy enough to win the throw-in. Looks like Jasmine Ralph is going to check back in again. She usually plays on the wing. So we might get Femister or Go coming off. It is Sabine Go who'll take a break. So Ralph will go over and play the left wing for the Bearcats. Go looks thrilled with herself. Oh, Emma might have handled that ball. It was awkwardly bouncing around. Out for a throw-in. Long throw from Presler again. Back to Presler from Hill. Good tackle from the Panther on the far side there. Newbolt finds Hamza. Good overlapping run from Hellerin here. Alling oversteps it. One of the small errors she's made, but she recovers well. Hellerin is just working herself right to her fingertips. But it ends up being a Bearcat goal kick all the same. You gotta love the fight in the Panther girls. They haven't stopped working for each other the entire tournament. I already spoke about their cheers and their support for each other. Maloney, that looked like a foul to me. Jaleel looks a bit injured. The ref says play on. It's a give and go that goes wide for Maloney. She comes back into Hill. Emma Moorhead is there, but she does it good. And here's Jaleel, who picked herself up and keeps on playing, just like the Panthers have done all tournament. And that is an offside as Maloney came back from an offside position to receive that pass. We're into the final 10 minutes. It looks like Jaleel, who took a bit of a hit here just in front of us and then still ran back in to clear that ball, might need a break. So Sabrina comes off. In comes Bruckner. In comes Fujikawa, I believe. And in comes Valentina Moreno. Long ball here from Newbolt. As we hit the home stretch here of game 1 of round 5, with the Bearcats up 2-0 and securing themselves a place in the final if this result holds. Here's Richer. She might have something to say about that. She does get by Alling. No easy feat in itself. Finds Hellerin, who's done nothing but work. Nice touch from Presler. She tries to find Maloney, and Hill releases her this time. It's a race now. Maloney has the running of Baker. She cuts back inside her, and she has to get around Moorhead. But the Panther defenders have been strong all tournament long. Right, Alling up again for a corner kick. Swung on by Presler, but she can't get the handle. And now it will be Fujikawa who only gets it as far as Alling. First time back in. And that goes wide. Stevens happy to let it go for a goal kick. Or sorry, Peterson. I even get the goalkeepers a bit confused because they're both wearing orange. In comes Muse again for Hellerin, who's been working all game. Well done from Emma Moorhead, who finds Richer. Good ball up to Fujikawa, who turns into a bit of trouble. Good tackle from Nicholas. And that finds Newbolt in some space. She'll bring in Valentina Moreno, who's finished her chapter on Wuthering Heights for Mr. Venables. Works down the line. Richer working hard again. That's away from Hermans. Well played from Moorhead into Newbolt's feet, who turns and finds Moreno again. No, sorry, that's Bruckner. Bruckner plays the way she's facing. Smart football. Here's Ralph, who shows inside but takes on Razake. Gets the ball at her feet and has some running now. It's a good run by her. She tries to cut inside. Razake's harassing. Back into Hill, who's had a cracker of a game today. Right across the face of goal. That'll be collected by Maloney, who brings it back out to Hill, but it's intercepted by the Panthers and cleared. I think that's Femister. Back to Presler. Again, simple football, always defeat from the Bearcats, which is such a pleasure to see. Intercepted by Villalone. Wide for Ralph. Cut out from Emma Moorhead. Only as far as Ralph, who has a bit of a loose touch that comes to the middle. Quickly put forward from the Panthers, but cut out as ever by Alling. A nice turn from Ralph. But Razake has the workings of that. Here comes Presler now. She'll let one go. Clipped a Panther and falls back into Peterson's hands. Ali Presler seems to be everywhere now. She's winning all sorts of balls, as is this girl. But she doesn't get that one away, and Bruckner's in the right part of the field. Just a lot of running she's asking from Moreno there. Less than 5 minutes of regulation time left. Bruckner with a good first touch, and she can let this go. Wow, what a shot. If that was on goal, it would have really been a test for Stevens. But in the end, it's wide and a goal kick. Play goes on. Inside for Alling and away. Razake up the line. Whoa. Bit of an awkward one where she had to put her head in. Nicholas. Nice layoff from Muse. Nice turn there from Maloney, who wins the throw. She's done a lot of good work up top. I don't think it's her normal position, but she's been effective in Fernandez Poku's resting time. Hermans leaves the ball for Presler with the long throw. Down the line it goes. Hill gets on the end of it, but that's out for a throw. Presler again as we get towards the final minutes of the game here. Nicholas scored the first goal. Nice touch off from Muse. Finds Newbolts. Quickly ahead for Bruckner, but Villalone there again. Tries to find Ralph. A little bit strong, but Ralph manages to keep it in and finds Hill in support. Good football again. Ralph might take a shot here. She does. And Peterson's hands are solid. She finds Moreno. Newbolts. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from Villalone. It's hard to say that was offside when the ball was played. Coach Ortiz, did that look offside to you? I don't think it was either. Agreed. Understood. All right, Nicholas runs into Newbolts. Here's a ball through for Muse, and it's Gonzalez on the back end. Stevens doesn't want to pick it up, and that is just wide again. A little bit of awkwardness in the back four there as Gonzalez semi-played it back to Peterson. She wasn't sure if to Stevens. She wasn't sure if she could pick it up, and she didn't, and that caused a little bit of panic as the Panthers almost stole one at the end here. All right, we're into the final minute of regulation time. Good turn again from Moreno. They're playing these through balls right through the middle channel that maybe get to the keeper quicker than they need to. Another great hit. That is a fabulous goal from Bruckner. Maya Bruckner found the keeper off her line, and she hit it from all of 30 yards, and it went screaming into the meshing. The Panthers probably deserve a goal for the way they played the last 8 or 10 minutes. That offside that was early given seemed to be a bit unfair, but Bruckner has brought the team back to within one. We only have maybe a minute or two left. 2 minutes of extra time, the ref says. That's the first goal that Manila have given up in the tournament. We still would say that Manila are the better footballing side here, but the Panthers looking to end with a bit of a scream or a roar. Bruckner can't turn against, I believe it's Panlilio over there. Razake trying to kick it forward and put some pressure on the back line of the Bearcats. One again from Baker, and here's Hill again. Hill looks at Hermans and gives a good ball for her to run onto. She has Maloney in front, in time to look, but the ref is calling a foul, I think. There was a linesman that flagged for it. It looked a fair tackle to me, but the linesman's a lot closer to the play than I am.
He also missed an offside there. That was offside. She was up by 3 yards. I know the angle isn't perfect, but...
All right, so she's pulled off the field. I think that is Hermans. The clock continues to tick, although the ref might add on a little bit more extra time here. 2-1 with seconds to go. Let's put the one up, yeah. Peterson to check back in for Manila as Hermans has a seat. One of the things Richardson's wouldn't want is to lose a player in the last round robin game as they get ready for the finals tonight. A ball in from Hill. Dealt with by Peterson. And that one falls in. I think it was Maloney who scored it. I was looking down to get Peterson's name as the ball was hit. So I'll try to get it here on the replay. But Manila have reestablished their 2-goal lead at the death. So here was the, I'm watching it now, it was a corner in from Hill, or a free kick in from Hill. It came back to Maloney, who only just got a left foot on it and lobbed it in, very similar to the first goal that Nicholas scored. Different post this time. But it's 3-1 Manila. The ref checks his watch and says that'll be it for game 1 of round 5 of IASAS 2017. The Manila Bearcats have booked their way into the final with a 3-1 win over the always positive and always working for each other ISKL Panthers. So that puts the Manila Bearcats on 11 points. They have scored They have scored 8 goals and conceded only 1 in the tournament, and they have booked their way into the final. The Panthers finish with 1 point on the draw that they had with Jakarta Dragons, but they again brought the right attitude and the IASA spirit that really permeates the entire tournament. Anyway, that shall be all for me, and we'll be back again in a couple of minutes with the next game between the ISB Panthers and the JIS Dragons. Thank you.